Hello everyone, this is Gear214 here, and welcome back to another Minecraft vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be going ahead and building the M26 Pershing. The M26 Pershing was a medium/heavy tank that was used by the United States in the later couple months of World War II. It saw most of its service during the Korean War, where it was seen extensively throughout that war, but after that, it was pretty much phased out by the M48 patent and was replaced, so on and so forth, with better tanks. The M26 Pershing, though, is a really nice looking tank. I've always really loved the design of it. I think it's a sleek tank, looks great, and would have definitely kicked some butt on the Western Front if it was deployed a little bit sooner in World War II. With that, though, I want to go ahead and mention a quick few things here before we go ahead and jump into this tutorial. The first being that for my Java players, if you do want to use invisible item frames, I'll be popping that command up on screen now. I highly recommend them. They're really great tools to use as they help blend blocks into the build a little bit better. You can see it being used here on the build in front of us for the gunner scope and also the front headlights. You don't have that item frame behind it, so works really nice for the build. Unfortunately, if you're not on Java, you'll have to just deal with normal item frames and make do with that. In addition, for my Java players, we'll be going ahead and using the debug tool, or debug stick, which is a tool we'll be using to modify some block properties here and there. Again, this can be a Java only feature, and I'll offer alternatives whenever we get to those points where we'll be using the debug stick. With that, though, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer here, we will be going ahead and starting off layer 1. Now, as you probably have seen already, I do have a resource pack on. That resource pack will be linked down in the description, so you'll see that the prismarine I have right here is a little bit darker, or a little more green than the one that's in the normal texture pack. Really, there's not going to be anything too much different. This texture pack's pretty close to default, just kind of highlights a few blocks here and there, but just keep that in mind going forward throughout this build. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with this. We're going to place down a upside down deep slate tile stair like so, followed by a black concrete block, and then we're going to place down 2 polished black stone stairs back to back like so. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 4 of black concrete back, and then a deep slate tile upside down stair here on the very back like that. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of dark prismarine top slabs across from that stair, and up here in the front, we're going to place down a row of 3 of dark oak trapdoors coming off that upside down stair. We're going to go then place down a row of 3 of dark prismarine top slabs behind it, and we're just going to fill in the rows of 3 of prismarine across to fill in the whole inside, just like that. Once that's done, we're going to place down a deep slate tile upside down stair on this side and just replicate the same design we did on the other side over to this side. So again, just the same thing, like so. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some normal item frames, and we're going to go ahead and place them on the sides of the black concrete. So like that. And then we're going to go ahead and place down some green stained glass panes in those item frames, just like so, and also some dark oak buttons. If you're on Java, just know that Java is the only version you can place down buttons and item frames in the same block space. So if you're not on Java, unfortunately, you'll just have to place down the item frames with the glass panes and leave it at that. But the buttons here add a really nice little touch there of detail there for the wheels. The last part for this layer is going to be the use of these banners. Now, I'm not going to show you guys in a loom how to make them, as I can explain them pretty straightforward, and you can probably guess how to make them just by looking at this. But basically, all we're doing here is we're taking 2 green banners. We're going to go and do a black line on the left side of one banner going vertically and split it in half, and then we're going to do a black line going vertically on the right side, splitting it in half. So you basically have 2 banners like this with green on opposite sides. And then we're going to go and do a line of black dye across the center there to go ahead and create this design here for both banners. You'll place the banners on the sides of these polished blackstone stairs with the green portion facing toward each other. Same thing over here, and it will just help improve the overall look there of the wheels. With that, though, that's going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 1. Here is a top-down view of what that looks like with that all done. And actually, one last thing here is we are going to go ahead and place down item frames on the back here. And this will be using the invisible item frames if you have access to them. And then we're going to place down tripwire hooks in those item frames, just like that. So they look like that, little tow hooks there on the back of the vehicle. Anyways, though, that's going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 1. And with that, let's jump up to layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of these 2 stairs here. A dark oak trapdoor coming off this green terracotta block going toward the front. And then we're going to place down a item frame that is going to be on the side of this block here, so just a normal item frame, and then a green stained glass pane in the item frame, and then a dark oak wood button on the side of that block again if you're on Java. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves some of our dark prismarine stairs, and we're going to place down a row of 3 of dark prismarine, or just prismarine stairs across the space here. And we're going to go ahead and then place down a chain that's going to come off this stair here on the right side, so it's going to face forward like that. Once that's all done, we then want to go ahead and also grab ourselves another item frame. We're going to place down an item frame here on the center, trip our hook in it like that, rotate it downwards. Again, better if you're on Java with the invisible item frames. We're going to take our green terracotta, and we're going to go and place down a row of 3 of green terracotta, a second row, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 green terracotta blocks going down the center here. And we're going to go and then take our prismarine. We're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 top slabs along the side here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the last 4 blocks, we're going to place down item frames. And we're going to go ahead and then place down green terracotta blocks in those item frames for the little guide wheels on the top here for the tracks. So just like that there. Then once that's all done, if you are on Java, we're going to place down 2 upside down pistons over this space. So again, for my Java players, we're going to go ahead and do this technique here. If you're not on Java, I would just recommend placing down a couple more dark oak wood, or not dark oak wood, dark prismarine or prismarine slabs across the space here. So whatever you did there, just continue that for 2 more blocks right here. Then on the side of these pistons or slabs, whichever you have, we're going to place down some dark oak wood signs on the sides of those blocks. So just like that. After that's all done there, we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark prismarine slab to both sides here, and then an item frame that's going to come off of it, and in that item frame we're going to place down a cobweb. So like that. And then we're going to go ahead and also place down a dark oak sign that's going to come off the slab like this on the back here. And then on the very back itself, we're going to go ahead and place down again item frames to both sides, and in those item frames we're going to place down red concrete for the brake lights. And then also we're going to place down a zombie head coming off the very center green terracotta block to finish that off. If you are on Java, we're going to place down a block that's going to come off the side here of these slabs. So like that. And on the side of this block, we're going to place down a dark oak wood button. We'll be then using our debug stick. We're going to left click the button till we get selected facing. And we're just going to rotate this around by right clicking so that we have it come off the side of that slab as well. And again, that's going to be, if you're on Java, we can throw that little feature on there, improve that look of that design there, the sprocket wheel. Anyways, though, that is going to be it for layer 2. Here's a top-down view of what that should look like. Again, you might have some differences there if you did the pistons or not. But with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we'll be moving into layer number 3. For layer 3, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a polished diorite slab here in the center. And then we're going to go ahead and then place down a prismarine slab to both sides of it. Coming off of the slabs, we're going to place down an item frame, and in those item frames, we're going to place down snowballs for the front headlights. To the sides of these slabs, we're going to place down a daylight detector to both sides, and then one more daylight detector going back like that on both sides. And then in the middle space here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block, a dark prismarine stair to both sides, and then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some green carpet and just place down a green carpet on top of these 2 blocks to both sides there. Over the fenders for the sprocket. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and then take our green terracotta. We're going to place down a row of 3 across the center here, and then another green terracotta block in the center, and then another dark prismarine stair to both sides of it like that. On the sides here, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves mossy stone brick slabs. For my texture pack, they have this really nice green color. If you're not using this texture pack, I honestly would recommend just using the prismarine, whatever you're using for the rest of the stairs and slabs. But for me, in my resource pack, we'll be using the mossy stone brick, which has this really nice texture there over the fenders. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves some deep slate tile slabs. We're going to place one to both sides. In this middle space, we're going to go ahead and place down a prismarine slab, and then a row of 3 of prismarine slabs across. We then want to go ahead and place down some daylight detectors. They're going to go on top of these pistons. Same thing over here. And then we're going to place down a row of 3 across this middle space here. We're going to turn these to the night mode. Just like that. For my Java players, we'll go ahead and then take our debug stick. And if you want to go ahead and right click these pistons, you'll get rid of that wood portion. And it just kind of helps us with the fenders. Kind of getting the shape a little bit more accurate there for the vehicle. Continuing on though, on the back here, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak trapdoor on these 2 slabs and make sure those are closed. And in the space in between them, we're going to place down a row of 3 of the polished blackstone pressure plates. So it will look like that. And that is going to wrap up everything we have there for that layer. Also, from the previous layer, for my Java players, we're going to go ahead and go to this stair with the chain sticking off of it. We're going to left click this stair until we get selected shape. We're going to right click this and rotate this till we get this shape here, this corner stair. So it kind of looks like that there and looks a little more accurate to the little machine gun there. Anyways, though, that's going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 3, and with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer number 4. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to start with, we're going to place down a row of 3 of green terracotta across these blocks here, and coming off of it, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall and green stained glass panes to the sides. We then want to take our dark prismarine, and we're going to go ahead and go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 slabs like that going forward, and we're going to go ahead and place down an item frame on this green stained glass pane. And in that item frame, we're going to place down a black concrete block just like that. So it's going to look like that there for the front mantlet. Then we want to go ahead and place down a polished diorite block to both sides for the army star, green terracotta block in the center. Then 2 more green terracotta blocks down the center, and then a mossy cobblestone wall to both sides of it. After that is done, or actually, sorry, my bad, it's going to be 1 mossy cobblestone wall on each side, and then a green stained glass pane. So my bad on that one. And then we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign on the side here of this wall. And on the very back here, we're going to place down a tripwire hook. So just like that. And once you have that all done right there, that's going to wrap up everything for the turret. If you're on Java, you can also extend the wall right here if you want a little bit forward and have it low, so it kind of connects up a little bit more with the actual slab, so you don't have that little space there, but entirely up to you guys. But that right there is going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 4, and with that we'll move into our final layers, which will be layers 5, 6, and 7. Alright guys, so moving into our final layers, we have layers 5 through 7. For these layers here, we're going to go ahead and start off by placing down a redstone repeater. That's going to go on top of this block like so, and then we're going to place down a flower pot here to the right side. We'll also place down dark oak trapdoors on both these diorite blocks, as well as a dark oak wood fence post that's going to sit right here on this middle block between the walls. And then on top of it, we're going to place down a fence gate, followed by a end rod going forward, and also a chain to go ahead and start forming our machine gun. We're going to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull on the back of this fence gate, and then also a zombie head to the left side here like that for the mag, for the MG. And we can also go ahead and take our debug stick here for Java players, and we can go ahead and left click this till we get selected in wall, right click that, set it true, and it kind of lines it up a little bit better there for the top machine gun. Then also on the bottom here for Java players, we're going to place down a block like this to the side, as well as a lever, and we're going to left click this lever till we get selected face, set this to the ceiling, and rotate this so selected facing until it points back like that, and that'll be kind of just the design there for that 50 cal. And then we're going to go ahead and place down iron bars. They're going to go ahead and go up 3 from the green stained glass panes from the previous layer on both corners there of the rear of the turret for the radio antenna. And once that's all done right there, that is going to wrap up everything I have there for the M26 Pershing, and that is going to conclude my tutorial for it. Hope you guys do enjoy this build, and if you guys do end up using it, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This can be anything from a side of the build to link to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, you're free to use it for every project you guys are working on. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This